Pulori was my everything. Pulori. These three delicious syllables ruled my life. I was 5, and if ever I got my hand on as little as 15 cents, I would buy pulori, a fluffy, golden, deep-fried ball of dough that was crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. I lived in New Grant, a village in the south of Trinidad, or down south, as we would say. It sat between wide, muddy rivers full of crocodiles, thick tropical wilderness, and fields upon fields of sugarcane. The yellow and brown two-story building where we learned was called New Grant Anglican School, and it had been established in the year 1900. To the front was a paved asphalt area where we played netball, rounders, and hopscotch in our neat uniforms. In the field next to that, we dashed about, we made believe, and whenever possible, we yelled as loudly as we could. Next to this field was a small shop of wonders. They sold pickled red mango, coconut sugar cakes, sticky pepper achar, and of course, pulori. It was pretty much neutral in taste, but it was served with spicy mango chutney and sweet tamarind sauce on wax paper. Pulori was my favorite thing. One day, I bought 3 or 4 and was fixated on inhaling them while waiting to cross the main road. Cars roared by while I stood, my mouth wet with wanting. I was captivated by the mesh pattern inside the dough balls, by the heat of the wax paper and the green mango chutney. Just as I looked up, a 20-seat maxi-taxi passenger van dashed right by my nose. My nostrils burned with diesel. A drunk on the other side of the road staggered backwards, his eyes bulging big like guavas. He said, "You're gonna get killed one day." In Trini, an alcoholic was a rumble, because everybody drank rum. And I knew from the way big people talk that you never listen to a rumble. Still, I finished my pulori, which was never puloris, even if you had several, and looked both ways before crossing this to my street, Monkey Town Road, 3rd Branch, which at this point was the only place in the universe that I knew. On a day like that, it would have been normal to hear the sound of Miss Exley's voice drifting over the tombstones. There was a cemetery on either side of the street, and ours was the first house after the one on the left. Her voice would catch me as soon as I left the junction, drifting like a breeze. My grandmother, who we called Mama, and who everyone else called Miss Exley, was always singing. When she woke up with the kiskadis, when she was happy and smiling, when she was thoughtful and laughing to herself, or when she went to bed, the bullfrogs as her backup, she sang. Hymns mostly, about Jesus and salvation and redemption and power. So basically, every single song in the Anglican hymnal. Power in the blood, how great thou art, Rock of Ages, abide with me. And the draggy wonder was her favorite, Stars in My Crown, which I didn't really understand then, except that I knew it had something to do with getting stars in my crown when at evening the sun goeth down in the mansions of rest. What I did know was that her bright eyes and soft face got very strange when she sang that hymn. She would smile with her whole face, but have tears in her eyes. Was it possible to be happy and sad at once? In those moments, coming home from school, the world seemed to dim and go out of focus. Everything hushed. Her voice perfumed the very air. The tall grass across the cemetery leaned in slow motion. Beads of sweat slid down my forehead, and tickled my neck. All of creation became her voice calling me home. You guys are sleepier than the kids last night. Is it nap time?